out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying. Claws out, this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chains. Let's defiantly. Go! I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge.
And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. We came here to conquer, like we're monsters. We can last much longer, we do this for honor. We came here to conquer, like we're monsters. And we can last much longer. I am a hunter, I've been filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in their eyes, this is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise, just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny. I will be rectified, if you dissect me, find scars you left behind. Injuries that define me to my core, they'll hear me roar like never before. The pain I absorbed is feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war.
Yo, what's going on everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Around the Valley podcast. Man, we got a lot to talk about for every single sport. So I got both my co-hosts here. Say what's up, everybody.
What's up, chat? What's going down, everybody?
What's going down, y'all? What's going on?
Yep.
Hope everybody had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Very long one at that. All right.
So, very long.
All right. I want to get the depressing stuff over with. So let's do NFL first. All right. So Thursday night, Lions demolished the Packers. I didn't watch the game, but I saw it started off. I think it was 24-3 at one point. So or 27-3 or something like that. So YTC, I think you streamed this game. So yeah.
Detroit's offense was well oiled in the first half. Obviously, they were bombing. Jared Goff was just making these immaculate throws, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was catching. Josh Reynolds was catching, and they had a really good run game with Montgomery. But they got to utilize Jamari Gibbs a bit more. I feel bad for Jamari Gibbs fantasy owners who thought they were going to see him be more utilized because he was the more younger guy. But instead, they went for Montgomery. So yeah. But in the second half of the game, they did start to teeter a bit, but eventually they made adjustments and held on. Obviously, Packers. Obviously, it's Jordan Love's. Even though he's a 4-year starter by technicality, he's technically a rookie in our eyes. It's just him getting his foot wet, him playing a full season, and these types of games are bound to happen. Where you're going through your growing pains, and this was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I picked the Lions. I thought this game would be a lot closer though, but I mostly picked the Lions just because they're. Compared to what Green Bay's done lately, as far as, starting off slow, last week they won, but, they kind of relied on a Derek Carr injury to come back and win that game. So I just picked the Lions. I thought they were the better team, and they proved it today. So they're 3-1 now. They lead their division. But, Randy, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this game, but
yeah, man, I ended up actually catching a little bit of the game itself. When the Packers actually picked off Jared Goff, I thought, are we gonna have ourselves a game here? But after that pick, he shrugged it off. It was nothing. Him and his chemistry with Josh Reynolds alongside with Amon St. Brown is unbelievable. And also another sidebar news, they reduced Jameson Williams' suspension. So now instead of him being out for being out 4 games, and you got to remember they have a bye, so they technically he wouldn't be that wouldn't be considered a game. So he's supposed to be out still. He's actually going to be playing in their next game. So another weapon for that offense.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So interesting to see moving forward. But yeah, man, the 20 points they ended up putting up, the 17 points were all just mostly garbage time. When at this point the Detroit Lions and their defense did so much damage. That pickup, that draft of Brian Branch, the safety, man, what a steal! Like, that kid is playing lights out. So huge win again for them as well.
Yeah.
And let's just hope the best for the Detroit Lion fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Considering he got banged up in that game, but yeah, hopefully.
He's good though. He's good.
All right. So back to yesterday's games. Jaguars, Falcons. Jaguars bounced back. They're 2-2 now. I did not watch this game because I was not going to get up at 6 a.m. to watch it Monday. So
I actually watched this game.
So yeah. I know YTC streamed it though. So
excuse me.
I guess for me, just by looking at it, Desmond Ridder does not look like the future. He really doesn't. I mean, he threw a pick 6. I'm pretty sure he fumbled once as well. So I guess, I'll just leave it at that. But YTC, I know you streamed the game. But.
I mean, you said it. Yeah, Ridder's not their future for the Falcons, because Ridder's is a project. I don't think the project's going to work because their offense is predicated on running the ball out. With Bijan Robinson. That's why they drafted Bijan that early. And Bijan had a really good game. Obviously, he was the real vocal point of their offense. So, yeah, they basically ran the ball with him and Algier, and the other third guy they have. And basically, their whole offense is predicated on the run and also short passes. I don't think that's Ridder's strong string because clearly in this game he had he had a lot of off reads and also he had 2 picks. One that went for a pick 6, and the other one was to steal the game, and he had a fumble as well. So, he was very off in this game. As for the Jaguars' perspective, Christian Kirk was cooking in this game. Calvin really had a touchdown. But overall, the offense looked like they got back on track. ETN had a good all-around performance if you look at the numbers. Yeah, their offense practically got back to track, and just, their defense, Josh Allen, the pass rusher, was killing it in this game so far from what I saw.
Yep. Randy, you got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, man, it was an early one. I like you, did not want to get up around 5 o'clock in the morning to watch this game. Therefore I skipped it, but I watched the highlights, and they should really run that ball more through Bijan Robinson. He had himself 100 I think it was 100 plus yards rushing. It needs to be him because, like you said, TRL. Desmond Ridder does not look like the answer. I mean, at this point, I'd almost start to be questioning whether or not I'd be using Taylor Heineke or not. So you got a solid backup who knows how to run an offense and just needed weapons and somebody to trust in him. And he's got a good team there. So wouldn't be long. I feel like it won't be long until we see him potentially over Ridder. So
yeah. What's up, Get On Kid? What's up, Blaze? And Get On Kid, yep, just said Falcons got to start Taylor Heineke. We'll see if that happens.
But, they got to start him. What's up, Get On Kid in Blazer?
So, next game, I picked Miami because, what they did last week, but I should have realized that it was the Broncos defense, and now they're playing an actual contender because the Bills absolutely murdered Miami at home, 48-20. So I actually saw a little bit of this game. But because I was watching this game, I thought it'd be a good game, and also I was waiting for the Cardinals game, so I was watching this a little bit. And the Dolphins were in it for a pretty decent, first half maybe, but then when it was halftime, I think it was 31-14 or somewhere around there. So for like the first quarter and a little bit into the second, they were in it. It was 21-21, I think, at one point, and then it was 21-14 at one point, and then after that, Buffalo went on a rampage. So my thoughts on this game, I feel like it was just Buffalo just wanted it more. They were at home. Josh Allen's he's actually I think it was 7-0 at home against his division rivals. I could be wrong, but
somewhere around there.
So yeah, somewhere around there though. So Buffalo just murdered them. But I don't know if you guys have thoughts on this game, but it is what it is for Miami.
Well, for this game, I already picked Buffalo. I already knew, Miami was going to come off a high scoring 70 points. It would eventually have to come down to reality. This felt like one of those games against the AFC's rival. That's just how I felt. That's why I picked Buffalo.
Yeah. So, Randy, you got anything on this game? Because,
Yeah, again, he comes back from injury and he tears his ACL, and then now he's tore his MCL last year or the year before. So Tre'Davious White being out again, that's just another huge blow. That kid never seems to be able to catch a break. But yeah, there really was not much to say about this. The Dolphins got brought back down to reality, and like you said, it was more that game probably was more about the Broncos defense than probably the Dolphins.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. We'll get to that. We'll get to the reason why in a few after this game.
But per Randy, Devin Vassell gets a 5-year, $146 million deal in San Antonio. All right, some NBA news. Nice. Patriots beat the Bills in 2021 in the snow. Oh, at Buffalo. Okay. So I think it might have been against Miami. He's 6-0
against Miami.
He's undefeated at home against Miami. I'm pretty sure that's what
I guess he just owns that team, but yeah, practically.
Next game, is there much to say? I mean, Ravens beat the Browns 28-3. Deshaun Watson was out, so I mean, there
was no. They couldn't move the ball.
Yeah. I mean, Ravens. Shout out to Mark Andrews, won me my fantasy matchup, so I'll take it. But other than that, if Deshaun Watson played, I think this would have been a closer game. But Randy, you got any thoughts on this game?
No, the rookie quarterback came in for Cleveland and he got demolished.
Yeah,
that's about
rookies. Yeah,
but everyone, listen up, because you know how much I cannot stand the Bears.
Me too, for a reason, you know.
Broncos beat the Bears 31-28 when they were down at one point. I think it was 21-7 at halftime, and I actually think it was 28-7 at one point in the second half. So I'll let YTC and Randy go before I go.
So history repeated. Sorry about that. But anyways, it happened to the Bears basically. How the Bears blew this game, man, it's beyond me. They had the Broncos defense that awful. They had Justin Fields looking like a damn Mahomes. He looked like Mahomes more than Mahomes this past week, which we'll get into later. He made him look more like Mahomes than Mahomes himself, if that makes sense. That's how bad the Broncos defense looked at this entire game. This is probably going to be the best career game Justin Fields is probably going to have in a very long while, because it was horrible coaching, and also that one decision not to go for it on 4th and goal when they could have just taken the field goal. I get your defense was playing crappy, but you got to put your defense in those opportunities to, close the game out. That's how they get better over time, and they can learn from the mistakes. Either they get it or not. You trust your defense no matter what. It's just, demoralizing, knowing that your coaching doesn't believe in your defense. But yeah, practically that's what happened here, was coaching and bad execution in this game. That's how they choked.
Yep. Randy, you got anything?
First of all, I gotta say, screw you, you fucking Bears. I had DJ Moore in for the first 2 weeks. He got shit all, so I had him on my fucking bench, and the cocksucker goes off. So first of all, Justin Fields, screw you. Second of all, screw you, Bears organization. But no, for real, on a real note though.
Hang on, Randy. I also had Cole Kmet on my bench if it, hurts me as well. He had 27 points. Once he did something, but go ahead.
Right? Oh fuck! It's like, and then now you guys went and traded for Chase Claypool, and apparently now he's on the block, and it's like apparently he let his grievances be known, and now you guys don't even want him at the facility. I saw something before I got here that apparently they reported that they didn't even want him on the sidelines for the game, so he wasn't even allowed to come to the game. So like made a trade for that turned out to be a bad move, and it's like I praised these guys in the offseason. I gave them a lot of praise, and now I'm looking like a fucking fool. So I guess wear my clown hat and wear my clown nose like I should, but you'll never see me. You'll never see me pick you guys for a while. That's for sure.
Hey, Randy, at least you won't rather wish being dead than being a fan of the fan base. But that's a topic for another story.
Hey, that's for a different podcast.
Different show, but I don't know if you even saw it. I don't know if you follow our Bears friend, but anyway.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I were you, but. Chicago, I picked you guys at the beginning of the season to go 8-9. Now it looks like you're going to go 1-16 or something like that. I mean, how do you blow this game away to a team that just gave up 70 points? Like I warned Bronco fans too about Vance Joseph when we did not bring him back as our defensive coordinator and he went back to Denver, not as the head coach but as the coordinator. I warned Broncos fans. All he does is blitz, blitz, blitz. He doesn't put any guys in coverage. He just blitzes like 5-6 guys, 7 guys occasionally every single play, and he's only got like a few guys back in coverage. And you guys were up 28-7. You couldn't even score. Justin Fields had probably the best game of his career. Probably the best game of his career. And you blow it away to a team that was also 0-3, a team that is in the Caleb Williams talks now. Excuse me. But I mean, my thing is, it's like, Chicago, what are you doing? I'm not going to blame Justin Fields for this game because he actually balled for once, so I'm not going to blame Justin Fields. But, I mean, Chicago, you guys are 0-4 now. You guys got to do something. Fire your coaches, whatever. You got to do something at least. I mean, I think them and the Panthers are the only winless teams now. So.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the last 0-4 teams now.
Yeah, they're the last 0-4 teams now. And may I remind you, you have Carolina's pick, so you have the first and second pick right now.
Oh my epic God!
They get Caleb and Marvin Harrison.
So
that's like some Madden shit. Like that doesn't even seem real. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like you cheated. What?
Comments. I warned Bears fan that Chase Claypool's garbage. Yep, Steelers fan. There you go. Dan
That's
Quinn
a Steelers fan saying that.
Defensive coordinator. I guess.
He's up. He's definitely up there.
Eberflus is trash. Well, even when Justin Fields plays good, they still lose. But I digress. Let's go down. The Texans are 2-2.
Wow.
And look at that. First, I just want to say, Pittsburgh.
One of my losses.
Pittsburgh, you let me down. The Texans are supposed to give us the top 5 pick, and you guys let me down. So I just want to but YTC, Randy, if you guys have any thoughts, go ahead.
You let me down on my pickups too on Steelers. I picked you guys. My gut was going with Houston, but I said, you know what? Nah, Stroud's gonna have to eventually have an off game with Steelers defense, but that was not the case. Stroud might really be that good. I'm not gonna lie, he might really be the best Ohio State quarterback coming out this draft in the last memory. So I don't think it's over exaggeration with Justin Fields. I mean, this is 2 victories and. The quote-unquote best Ohio State quarterbacks had 5 victories in 3 years, and he's already had his 2nd victory with, a chance to tie it or be above it. So it's crazy.
Yeah, with the team that's rebuilding.
Yeah,
and the Miko Ryans quickly overturned it. All he did was just get practically Will Anderson and some other guy. That's practically it, if you really think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, man. Just like like with the emergence of Nico Collins and the guys like Tank Dells.
Shout out to Nico.
And shout out to my guy John Mechie III. Beat leukemia and came back to play an NFL game. So shout out to him. Cool. But for real though, like these Texans they're showing they're showing there'll be a scrappy team and they'll be in games because like the Steelers defense is no slouch and to put a 30 burger on them while only holding them to 6, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So
it says a lot about the Miko being a really good defensive genius.
Really wanted
and his coaching staff.
I really wanted D'Amico coaching my team, and the big reason was because of stuff like this. I mean, in the past 2 weeks, he shut down the Steelers offense. Not saying much because they have a shitty quarterback.
Right, Matt Canada and
6 points, and he held Jacksonville to 17, and while his offense put up 37. So he's doing a really good job these last couple weeks.
Yeah, they're over here putting points. Houston's offense has been putting points with a bunch of unsung heroes, like those guys you mentioned, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Damian Pierce, a bunch of guys you wouldn't even think of picking up in your fantasy in the earlier rounds. Yeah, a bunch of late guys.
So let's get to comments. CJ Stroud is a stud. Yep, I agree. Kid.
Yeah.
Fan. CJ Stroud and Damian Pierce are nice, and then he says Kenny is done and Matt Canada needs to go.
Yeah,
basically what every other Steelers fan is saying. So
yeah,
but next game, you fucking Indianapolis. You came back from 23 just to let me down. Like
I picked the Rams.
I did pick the Colts, and I wasn't being biased. I actually thought they were going to win. And they were down 23-0. They came back. They forced OT. And then this random name, Nakua, scored a touchdown in overtime. So
His first career, yeah.
listen, I'm just going to say this one, and I'll pass it to you guys. Rams, I don't care. You guys still aren't anything. I know your fan base is back on you're winning the Super Bowl train, but you're not going anywhere. All right. So it doesn't matter if you're getting Cooper Kupp back next week. You guys still won't amount to anything. But anyway, YTC, Randy, if you guys have anything to add.
Well, in this game, yeah, I thought they were going to choke this game away. Their defense was folding at the end. Give credit to Anthony Richardson. He's been, he's been 50-50, but, and then other times he's looked, really good in the other 50%. He's obviously shown up, obviously. He's demonstrated a lot of good running ability and a lot of good, throws you want a rookie to make. So, yeah, they almost came back. It was just obviously, the Rams obviously have a good, defense when it counts to stopping, when it matters the most, and also they have an offense, obviously. I guess McVay's just a really good, coordinator. It goes to show you because nobody knew who Puka Nacua was. Or Kyron Williams. Who's Kyron Williams? Come on now.
Right? Running
Yeah.
back
All these
18
randoms. I only know Tyler Higbee. That's it. Because he's my starting tight end in fantasy. That's it. After that, I don't know about anybody else in the receiving core for the Rams outside of Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
It's definitely McVay's work here.
Mm-hmm. Randy?
Yeah, there's really not much to say here, man. Other than I myself picked the Colts to win too. I thought that that young team would be able to do it on the offensive side, and then when it came to the defensive side, the Colts have actually been playing pretty decent this year, even though they've been missing a couple key guys. But the Rams won. So
Yeah. All right. Is there much to say about this game? Tampa Bay beats the Saints 26-9. I don't even know the stat lines for either team. I just saw Tampa Bay won by 15.
Yeah. Tampa Bay was a better team overall anyways. They have a good defense, and obviously they were a better coach. And it looks like Baker Mayfield is looking better than Derek Carr from what I've seen.
They're 3-1.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So, Randy,
No, I didn't catch this game at all. I was I was myself busy watching something else, so I didn't get a chance. I was like you, I saw the end, and I was like, wow, okay, I guess Baker outdueled Derek Carr, but I guess it came more down to like the defense and where the ball was at certain times, and the Bucs were able to capitalize. It makes me wonder if Derek Carr wasn't 100% too then, right? So
yeah, that's it.
All right, but moving on.
This
Randy,
game I saw.
Your Philadelphia
Definitely.
won in overtime against the Commanders 34-31. I'll let you go first. Your team's 4-0 now, so I'm surprised that the game was this close, but I'll let you explain how that was.
Yeah, man. There was we got some hold on this team. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. When it comes down to it, we pulled it out, we pulled it through. Pause. But I mean, I'd like to keep it a buck. AJ Brown being called for the taunting when he just gave the football to fucking Mosley, and that tacked on the 15 yards for the kickoff. So that gave them, plus what they got on the kickoff, gave them, the motivation and the good starting field, because they started, I believe it was at the 42. So they didn't really have a long field to go down to try to score that touchdown. Plus they only had a $1:43 on the clock. But needless to say, when we needed our defense to stand tall, they stood tall in the overtime. We didn't let them basically move the ball at all. When we got the ball, we just got it in range for our kicker, which Jake Elliott this year has been pretty solid, if not almost lethal. And he nailed it, and we walked out. These games, when it comes to with either it's the Commanders, it's the Cowboys, or the Giants, we always, throughout our history, we've always had scrappy games, and where we as fans think it's going to be one score and it ends up being another. I will say with the play calling for Eric Bieniemy and Sam Howell, that does seem to be working a little bit. They just need a better O-line. But at times they did stymie us, and they were able to go down the field, as you could tell, 31 points. But again, Jalen Hurts, him, AJ Brown, him. When it came down to it in the brass tacks, it was just a mano, and they couldn't stop him, and we pulled it out. So like again, pause. But again 4-0, so I'm excited. On to next week.
All right, Y2C, you said you did stream this game.
Yeah, I did.
Bobby.
Well, you saw what happened to Sam Howell last week. He had a horrible performance against Buffalo. You know how they fixed that performance after having 114 yards and 4 picks and a pick 6? You know how they fixed it? They started getting a rhythm out against that Philadelphia defense, because clearly Philadelphia's defense is still a work in progress because they got rid of Jonathan Gannon. They have a different coordinator. They have to learn a whole new system. But off of talent alone, they were able to hold their ground. But, it's still, they gave up 31 points. But still, with Sam Howell, he basically got a lot of quick passes, which established the rhythm. They ran the ball really well. Brian Robinson had 100+ on the ground. They were really moving the ball around. And, Sam Howell was just, being able to maneuver around the pocket, showcase a lot of speed as a scrambler quarterback. And also, he's looked really good in this system so far. I mean, it's one game, but we'll have to see if he's consistent, before we can determine if he's really, going to put himself up there as their guy to lead the franchise and be the, outlying quarterback, because God knows Washington, hasn't been able to develop quarterbacks in the last, quarter century. So, practically that's basically what happened. They basically, demonstrated their fundamentals and just, made this game more closer than it should have been. But then, that's all NFC East games practically in a nutshell. They're always scrappy for the majority of the time, besides the occasional blowouts. But, practically they're scrappy. This was one of them. But, Philadelphia got it done, obviously. They had the ball, and then they got the stop they needed, and kicked the game-winning field goal. That's practically what happened.
Yeah, so I knew this. Every division game is tough. Like, it doesn't matter how good or how bad the teams are. So I do understand how, this game was pretty close, and my screen just took a shit. So there we go. That's the end of my screen being shared. But anyway, Eagles, at the end of the day, when they needed to win the game, they won it in OT. So I'll give them credit for that. Commanders, by the looks of it, they look pretty good after a really, really bad game against the Bills. So they did bounce back in a way. But, this looked like a really good game. Eagles came through. They're 4-0 now, so we'll see what they do next week. But moving on, the Titans beat the Bengals 27-3. So I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati right now. But
yeah, this was well unexpected. I thought this was the part they were going to win games after that Rams game.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so call me crazy. I feel like we could beat them next week.
Yeah.
I feel like we can. But, it is what it is. DeAndre Hopkins, you still haven't done anything yet this year, so.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I mean, they brought Prime Henry back in that entire game. That's how bad the team looked around against them. They made Prime Henry come back, if you really think of it.
Yeah, so, but not much to say about that game. The Titans just, Derrick Henry. But I thought I was going to actually hesitate on this pick, but the Vikings came through. They beat the Panthers 21-13. So, I mean,
they're still fraudulent because they were down early. Kirk Cousins threw a pick 6 that went for 98 yards and the other way.
Minnesota, y'all down 13-0. Like, let's not act like you guys,
Yeah, they threw a pick 6 and they made Bryce Young look comfortable in that game.
Yeah, so
they got lucky. He fumbled. That was the turning point of the game. The fumble that went for the other touchdown. That was the turning point. And obviously, Justin Jefferson did Justin Jefferson things. He had 2 touchdowns in that game. So yeah.
Let's get to the chat. R2 says Joe Burrow looks bad. Yeah. Get on Kids says Burrow's Andy Dalton 2.0. We'll see. Bengals O-line's trash. What's up, Crazy Juice? Yeah, they are trash.
I wouldn't say Andy Dalton 2.0. Get on Kid just because. Just because of the fact, he's got that calf injury, and you try throwing on something that, like, when you go to plant and put pressure on it, and it just shoots up in your leg, I'm not sitting here saying that he's, he should be better, because he definitely should, but he's definitely not an Andy Dalton 2.0. Definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
No, but here's trying to plant your leg on the calf is putting too much weight on it. Bismuth Stick was coming back too early. I felt he could have rested the first 2 weeks. I mean, the record would have been no different because obviously it's the same record now in the first 2 weeks. You could have came back more healthier and then probably more efficient as you want to be and be able to execute with a fully healthy calf. Then the outcome may have been different, and also maybe different moving forward on a healthy calf.
Yeah. It is what it is, though. We'll see what happens.
But you guys are right, though. That O-line is fucking like a turnstile out of baseball game. Just they're letting, like, I hate to say it, it's like they ain't.
Yeah, it's like a turnstile over in the MTA, something like that. Easy to get.
Cousin, who's a Vikings fan, doesn't like Kirk. Oh wow. Well, Kirk's not playing that bad. We'll get to that in a second.
Bro's on pace for almost 6,000 yards.
What's up, Raph? What's up, Chad?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, Chad? But
yeah,
Kirk's been statistically good. Yeah.
I don't blame Kirk Cousins for what they're going through right now. I really don't. But I mean, him, JJ, and Jordan Addison.
They just don't have a defense. That's all. Because when you have an offense like that, you need a defense to keep you in games, obviously, or to maintain a lead. So yeah.
But next game, the Chargers, when it looked like they were going to choke, they came through and they beat the Raiders 24-17. So I did not see this game. Chargers are 2-2 though. Raiders are 1-3. So do you guys have any thoughts on this game?
I just want to say I'm glad that the injury that Herbert sustained on his throwing hand, but I don't know if you guys saw it or saw.
Yeah, I heard
it was disgusting. Like it was bent the other way, and then he trying to play it off. He kind of just looks at his hand and his fingers kind of facing him, and he goes like this and just grabs it and bends it back into place. I'm like, what do you know, G? And then next thing you know, he comes back at halftime. He's got a glove on both hands. Not that type of quarterback to have that. He has one on and one off. And he can still sling the rock, man. Like it wasn't his hurt. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be good, but he's got a broken finger on the non-throwing hand. So, but they keep through. That fucking Staley is a dog in heat could call a better game. Like his dog shit, man. I don't understand why they if I was a Chargers fan right now, I would have no nails. It'd be all chewed off. Like I would have gone insane.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. My screen can stay. Hold up. Yeah, my fucking hotspot fucked up. See if this layout works because this layout's actually a little bit better. But let's chat. Let's see. Oh wow, a lot of comments. Got the Ravens beating the Steelers Sunday. Fuck Matt Canada. Mitch Trubisky should. Didn't watch it. Yeah, me neither. Watching the Cowboys game. That's actually the next game. We'll get to that in a second. Crazy.
Yeah.
If the Bengals don't fix that O-line, they could ruin Burrow like the Colts did to Andrew Luck. I agree. All right, but next game, the Cowboys. How do we beat this team? The Cowboys beat the shit out of the Patriots 38-3. So,
yeah, they almost put a 40 burger on them.
Yeah. And my screen's not going to share. It is what it is.
I don't know how they did it. Like you said,
I don't know how they did it.
And then they come back and do that.
Because first they look like the worst defense in the league when they played against the Cardinals, but not the game against us and the game against Jets. In this game, they look like the best defense in the world all of a sudden with Dave Quinn.
Yeah, I have no idea how we did it, but it is what it is. Cowboys.
Mac Jones is overrated, obviously. Man had 4 turnovers. I think nearly 3 turnovers in that game. 2 of them that resulted in, a fumble 6 and a pick 6. Hell no. Mac Jones is way overrated after this.
Walk through the Cardinals, yeah, pretty much. Goddamn.
His ability to sense pressure is that of a tree. Like when he was getting chased from behind and
Mac Jones,
it's like get rid of the ball, and he's like, it's like
throw it out. And then he fumbled it.
You're not breathing?
And then he fumbled right at the light second, and then the reception and a touchdown from Van Der Esch.
Yeah.
All right. Next game. Niners beat the shit out of my team, 35-16. I'll go first.
McCaffrey show.
Watching this game, I wanted to rip my eyes out of my fucking socket. What kind of fucking performance was that? And I knew we were gonna lose this game, but the difference is this is an NFC West game. I hate it when my team makes my rivals look like they fucking own us when they really don't. Because if you look at the Niners and Cardinals history, They don't even own us that much. They only lead the all-time series by like 4 games. So it's a good rivalry we got going with the 49ers. But for this game, matter of fact, for the past 3 or 4 times we played them, the Cardinals make the Niners look like they're like we're their bitches.
Oh God!
Like McCaffrey did whatever the fuck he wanted. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't get their offense off the field. I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy only had 1 incompletion.
Yeah, they made this man.
So he did whatever the fuck he wanted to. We only forced like 1 punt in that game.
Get out of here!
Yeah, we only forced 1 punt in that game. That's all. That's the only punt we. And I'm pretty sure it was a run. And there was one point where it looked like we had a chance to come back because it was 21-16 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But then here comes McCaffrey. Here comes Brandon Ayuk. Like, I don't even think Deebo Samuel and George Kittle really did shit. It was mainly just Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, and Christian McCaffrey in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, there's not much else to say. The Niners are just the better team. They're 4-0 now, along with the Eagles. They're the only undefeated team now, along with them. So, I knew the Niners were going to win, but I at least want our team to be competitive against division rivals. That's what I at least want. I don't want us to go, out like a bitch against our rivals. But anyway,
yeah, you don't want people thinking, "Oh, this is where we get their win. This is where we're going to guarantee a win or whatever." Right?
Yeah. So basically, we're 1-3 now against 4 playoff contenders, and 2 of those games that we lost, they've been 1-score games. Like we could easily be 3-1 right now.
Wow.
And I feel like with Kyler, we'd be 4-0 right now. So,
shit,
that's not, you can't escape that. But YTC, Randy, you guys have any thoughts on this game?
Man, McCaffrey's the whole team. They better hope McCaffrey does not get hurt because he had like 45 fantasy points, and not even just fantasy points. He was catching touchdowns in the air and ground. You could tell McCaffrey's the whole backbone of their team because when they force 3rd and longs, McCaffrey, all he does is Brock Purdy doesn't throw a bunch of screens because they haven't really got, fast yards after catch guys with Deebo and Ayuk. That's all he practically has to do. Or McCaffrey, because they're really good at creating spacing, setting up blockers where they need to be to get first downs out of nowhere, out of their asses. Like 3rd and long, they did this in our game. And also, they practically did the same thing. McCaffrey was just opening everything up. So to me, McCaffrey's the backbone of the entire offense. After that, you take them away to different offense over there because they weren't looking like the same offense, before they traded for him. I'm just saying that because if I'm not mistaken, last year before they traded for him, they were like nearly below 500, and then McCaffrey was the turning point in that team. Yeah, if you really think of it, that's what a running back carrying a team looks like.
Mm-hmm. And everyone knows running backs in their prime don't last that long. So hopefully the Niners have a backup plan. But Randy,
they paid him already, so yeah.
You got thoughts on this game, Randy?
No, not really. Just I caught bits and pieces of it, and you guys, kept it close for like a little bit and whatnot. But then it got carried away, and then the McCaffrey show just became what it was, and it just sucks. Yeah.
But let's get to the comments. Crazy Jews. I knew Mac Jones wasn't going to be great in the pro league. That's why I didn't want him.
Yeah.
Packers fan. Yep, laughing. Yep, me and my little rants. The only 2 teams that we own are the Lambs and Cheeseheads. That's like, yeah. Kyle Shanahan owns the Rams like crazy. Juice, did you throw Mac Jones in the grinder? Wow. Hold up.
Wow.
You guys play hard? Yeah, I'll give my team that. They played hard in all 4 games.
Yep.
They've been playing really tough. So, I guess for a team that's supposed to go 0-17, that's good, I guess.
CMC not the Bears.
On the Niners and Carolina, better coaches, a better O-line.
Better.
He hasn't gotten injured as much in San Francisco as he did in Carolina.
A better organization, yeah.
Crazy Juice chat through Mac Jones in the Grant since his rookie year. Yeah, pretty much. That's crazy. And Coach is here. What's up, Coach?
What's up, Coach?
Yeah, so we're almost at the Giants game. We got one more game, and what's up, Raphael? Raiders laughing stock because they still got Josh McDaniels and Patrick Graham after losing against the Chargers. Yeah, Giants.
Now you know how I feel like Patrick Graham.
Giant fans would know. Let's see what else we got. All right, so last game before we get to YTC's Giants preview. The Chiefs and Jets last night. The Chiefs barely won 23-20, and a lot of people. I did not watch the game.
Me neither.
I know 2 things. Zach Wilson balled out for the most part, and the referees, or so people are saying, gave the Chiefs that game. So, YTC, I don't know if you streamed it, but
no, I didn't stream it. I was just watching with the other 49er guys. Oh, yeah, I was over there watching the game.
A lot of people are questioning that holding call on, I think it was Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
I seen that part. Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, Zach Wilson probably had his best career game in this game, definitely, for sure. From what I saw, he outplayed Mahomes the whole game. That's a tribute to how good the Jets defense really is. It's just they need a competent quarterback. This is no disrespect to Zach Wilson, even though he had a good game, but he's not a long-term consistent quarterback until he proves otherwise. With any other quarterback, any average top 20 quarterback, they can probably, take the Jets to the playoffs if you really think of it. That's how good the offense and defense, really is. It's top 5 good level with the defense. That's how they're able to stay within games and make, teams that they're supposed to, get blown out to look fraudulent, if you really think of it. So, yeah. And also, Robert Saleh is a really good coach. And that defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, he's really done a good job with that defense from what I saw, for sure.
Yeah, Randy, you didn't see it. So.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
and also from the Chiefs side, Pacheco carried that team. In my opinion, Pacheco was the real MVP of that entire offense in that whole game.
I'll say this: the Jets defense keeps them in games. They picked off Mahomes twice, so the Jets defense really keeps them in games when Zach Wilson is having a bad game. So, I credit the Jets for that. I mean, it sucks that.
Yeah. No, but outside of Kelsey, Pacheco was I think they found their number 2 guy at the running back position that's, emerging as a threat.
Speaking of Kelsey, can you shut up with this Taylor Swift crap, man?
Yes, agreed.
Bro, I didn't see Booker give this much attention for dating a Jenner. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Anyway, Arku says, Wrath, I feel bad. Yeah, Raiders are in a mess right now. You guys are stuck with McDaniels. Yeah, pretty much. But that's a wrap up on the Sunday games. And today, the Seahawks and the New York Giants at 5:15 p.m. See if the Giants can bounce back. They're 1-2 right now. Seahawks are 2. So let's see. Before we get to that, Coach says, will this game provide confidence to Zach Wilson where he plays to manage the game and not hurt them? Pacheco was home and balling out. Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. Pacheco was the MVP of the entire offense in that game.
Yes. YTC, you're the Giants fan, Coach. I know you're in the chat. Let's give a quick preview on this game.
Arku.
Well, for this entire game, there's 2 things we got to do. Not allow open space and control the time of possession. From my end, we got to start out. And also, third, we got to start out fast. That's the number 1 thing in my mind because obviously, you notice a trend in the first 3 games. We're off to a lot of slow starts. It happened, obviously, with the Cowboys, happened with the Cardinals before the comeback, and obviously, happened with the 49ers, even though we were, slightly in the game. But, it was a very slow start. 6 points is not, feasible in the first half for a team to come back throughout the game. You're really putting too much pressure on your entire team, not starting out really fast. But basically, we it was horrible lack of execution in that 49ers game last week. We cannot allow the same thing to happen, moving forward. We got to get better at tackling. We got to get better with formation and coaching and, setting up guys in positions where they can't miss tackles on 3rd and longs and, being able to get off the field more than often than we did in the San Francisco game. Because that was the bigger killer and the confidence drainer. When you're a defense, you don't get those crucial 3rd and longs out, like, 3rd and 15 and whatnot, you don't get off the field. It's really, momentum killing and also confident killing, on the defense when you can't get off the field in those situations. It's a lot of mental errors from that point and also, horrible execution. We got to, get better tonight, when it comes to execution with Seattle, especially with the offense they got over there. We have to get better by executing, and, not allowing any open space for the guys, to get yards after catch after, getting good blockers and good space for them to, break out a lot of yards to get the first down. We cannot allow that. And also from the offensive side, Daniel Jones has to play a really good game. I understand we don't have our left tackle and, running back out, but we got to find a way, to establish a lot of play action passes because Jones, in my opinion, is one of the better play action quarterbacks. He knows how to find ways to, strike down while taking hits or, find a way to, juke a guy or whatnot and use his legs to pick up the first down. I've seen it done multiple times, but yeah, we got to find a way to scheme around, get that and also one more thing, get Jalen Hyde involved, obviously. That's what I keep preaching because you saw after, when we bombed that, ball to Jalen Hyde down the field against the Cardinals game, it opened up a lot for the offense and led to the, read option score and also led to, the playbook opening. We got to get more explosive plays down the field and get him involved. One spark can change the entire complex of the offense. We need that, playing a team like Seattle. We're going to keep up with them. That's just how I look at it.
Yep. So let's get to the chat before me and Randy give our thoughts. Arku says he got Seattle. Danny Dimes isn't good in primetime games. I don't know if that's true. Coach, yep, Giants. What's up, Taj? Yeah, we're just giving a preview
Yeah.
of the Giants. So I know you're not really excited about the Giants, but you can give your preview if you want. Yep, Chad. What's up? What's up, Daniel? You got to prove it to me, YTC Cowboys fan. Or you guys are going to be last in the division. You guys should. Yeah. Coach says establish some semblance of a run game. It's a must. 11 rushes will not cut it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, but I mean, they couldn't establish a run against the 49ers. I mean, granted, it's the 49ers because they have a really good defense, but yeah, Seattle's no different. Seattle's, not any better than them. I think they're nearly dead last in passing. Pass defense, we got to take advantage of that to establish the run as well so we can, move the ball in our terms so that way we can slowly into our pace. That's how I feel, we're going to be able to move the ball on offense. We got to basically slow the game down and, basically move the game to our momentum, and then we're at home. We'll have the crowd on our side, obviously, and from there, it'll go to our advantage.
So is Saquon still out?
Yeah, he's out. He's not playing. No Andrew Thomas.
Okay. So, yeah, that hurts a lot. I did pick Seattle. And I also yeah, I'm probably wrong, but I read something about Seattle, like, always winning in MetLife. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, because they've had our outside of 20 overall. They've had our number even besides the 1 year with Colt McCoy quarterback. They've had our number basically, and Geno Smith. Not just Geno Smith. Russell Wilson owned that entire team. We didn't beat them beforehand until like 2010. They've owned us for like nearly a decade. Besides that one game in 2021, yeah, they've had our number.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked Seattle. I don't. Without Saquon, it's just how do you really establish a run game? Daniel Jones will probably be your leading rusher today again, and that's saying a lot. But Randy, you have any thoughts on this game?
Other than I hope it's a close game for the Giants' sake. I feel like they do have the front to cause trouble on that offensive line for Seattle, so they got to lean on that and definitely try to get pressure with their four. But I myself have Seattle winning this game, but it will be close. I'd say either a field goal or a touchdown, but that has to be Lockett so I can win my fantasy.
Yep. Okay. I don't think I have anybody on my fantasy team because if Saquon were playing, I'd have him playing today, but he's out, so I don't.
Yeah, I got Matt Breida tonight. I have Matt Breida for me. I picked up Breida off the waivers. That's it.
All right, so done with the NFL stuff. Let's get to the main topic of this episode. Holy shit! Damian Lillard traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Crazy.
Yep, Dame.
Crazy. So I know we're some days late on this because we don't go live on Mondays, so we are kind of late on this. But now that the three of us are here, and my team's actually involved too, so this will be pretty interesting. But unfortunately, I cannot share my screen right now. It took a little shit on us while we were doing NFL earlier, but the Milwaukee Bucks got Damian Lillard. That's the only thing that they got. They got nothing else. Portland receives DeAndre Ayton, Tamani Kamara, Jrue Holiday, who they later traded to Boston, which we'll talk about that too.
Oh my God.
2029 first-round pick and 2 first-round pick swaps with Milwaukee, while the Phoenix Suns upgrade their bench by receiving Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Houston Nurkic. So I'll let you two go first. Who won this trade?
Who won the trade?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm gonna say the Bucks. I mean, Giannis needed some supporting cast, obviously, and he got his guy obviously to be the number 2 role. I mean, they have a really good coaching staff over there. Credit, the way they were, shooting on offense and the way they were able to attack the paint and play defense. They're one of the better teams when it comes to that. So definitely this is a good move for them, to get the number 2 option. So they give more, defenses on the basketball court, for them to worry about when you have a guy like, Lip Dame on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Randy?
Yeah, I gotta say, I probably have to say the same with YTC. I gotta say, probably the Bucks, just because that was the prize to get, and people wanted them, and the Bucks were able to sneak in and snag them away. The Blazers did get some good young players, though. I will say. Yeah,
Blazers did a hell of a job in this trade too. Arcus says DeAndre Ayton is saying that he's going to be dominant. Yeah, fuck no. It's a good move, but the depth of the team concerns me, and that's why I say I'm not sure how to feel about Milwaukee. But coach says Giannis gets his closer. Dame really expands their.
Yeah,
Yep, I
they
agree.
get their closer, and then they got the big man in the middle. Obviously, the 7-foot monster in the middle. The defense has to double block.
Yeah, so I like the trade for all three of these teams, and I'll get to my team last. For Milwaukee, listen, Giannis, from the most part, it sounded like Giannis was unhappy in Milwaukee for a little bit. So it's really good that the Bucks were able to pull this off. They get another superstar. They got Giannis surrounded with Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton. I'm surprised they were able to keep Chris Middleton in this, but they were able to keep him. Brooke Lopez, Bobby Portis coming off the bench. The bench is a little bit concerning, I guess, but for the most part, they did sign Cameron Payne, by the way, which you traitor. But anyway, so for Milwaukee overall, it's a really good trade. For Portland, I mean, I don't. DeAndre Ayton, I guess it's good for him because he did not want to be in Phoenix. So, and, you know, I saw his reaction to getting traded to Portland. He seemed like he was really happy about it. So I guess for him, it's a really good trade. For Portland, it's good, though. For the Drew Holiday trade, I'm pretty sure they got Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams. So the Blazers got some good pieces out of this. So I'll give them that. They have a draft pick from this trade as well. But as far as the Suns go, I don't feel like this was the best deal we could have gotten for DeAndre Ayton, especially because Houston Nurkic hasn't had a healthy season recently. Grayson Allen, I don't really like his reputation, but as a role player, I feel like he's good. He shoots over 40% from the three, and he gives you some good perimeter defense. So there's that at least. Nasir Little, I guess, another good bench. Like, this trade for the Suns was all based off of the bench.
Yes.
We're good on our starters. We're all good on that. We have enough superstars. DeAndre Ayton was disgruntled and did not want to be here. So as far as our bench goes, I like this trade. I feel like we could have gotten more for DeAndre Ayton, but
Fair enough.
It is what it is. I'll take it heading into the season, especially that we don't have any players that don't want to be on this team anymore, because I don't want players that are unhappy on my team. So Arku says he doesn't like it for Phoenix for some reason. That's understandable. What I find funny is Jimmy Butler going emo after hearing about these trades. Oh my gosh.
That's on that press conference.
I bring dominance money. Yeah, shut up. DeAndre, you haven't been anything since we went to the finals.
Domination.
You haven't been anything since we went to the finals. But anyways, Damian Lillard gets traded to Milwaukee. We'll see what happens for the Bucks, I guess. But now that we're done with the Damian Lillard trade, let's talk about the Drew Holiday trade. So Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics for Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon. I forgot what the picks were, but I'm sure they got something in it. But YTC and Randy, what are your thoughts on that?
Man. Celtics are trying too hard to win a ring. I'm sorry, yes. They're not winning. They're not winning anything with Tatum as long as he's still there. Because it's good for their arsenal on offense. Obviously they want to expand. Past Jaylen Brown and him. But they lost a real focal point at their center with Robert Williams. He was a really good center for them. I don't know. It was very head scratching. They got rid of him. But yeah, they're trying too hard to be more of a shooting offense and compensate the lack of points for and then compensate basically with those guys, and then just get rid of their big men up in the middle. Come on now, you can't do that. It's not going to work long haul. When you have to play teams that can put up as many or if not more than you. You have to have a good defense. When it comes to that to an extent.
Yep, Randy.
Yeah, as well as that, like they kind of lost their identity when they got rid of Marcus Smart and now Robert Williams. And also they got rid of the other Williams guy. He went and signed with Dallas. So it's like, they kind of lost a lot of their grit, a lot of the guys that brought the sweat and stuff, where those guys did the work while the Tatums and the Browns could get the starlight and could shoot off and put up 50 burgers and whatnot. I don't know if what they have right now is going to get them there, because there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of asterisks next to a lot of the guys that they have health-wise. Are they going to be able to withstand below this? And now with the new rule in the NBA where you can't just have two superstars resting at once, What are they going to start putting people on IR and stuff to like let them have time off and stuff? Like it's just going to be really weird. So it's like I don't know if they're going to have enough to get to the promised land like they did years past. I think they might have bit off a bit more than what they think they can chew by shipping out some of these guys.
Yeah, so I don't like this trade for the Celtics, but mostly because you got rid of Robert Williams. So who's your backup center? Al Horford?
Exactly.
That old fart.
You have to rely on Kristaps Porzingis to stay healthy, which he hasn't done in a while. So, or for the most part, I know last year he played I think it was 65 games or something. So
something like that, yeah.
So for the most part, he was good last year, but he's known for getting injured. So you have to rely on him to stay healthy now. And who's their backup? Who's their backup point guard? I mean, they traded away Brogdon.
Except Pritchard. I don't know.
So where's the depth at? And I'm a Suns fan. We had no depth last year, and look at what happened. So you have to have depth in order to win a championship. And like I said, they lost Marcus Smart, Grant Williams. They've lost so much in the offseason already. So
Grant Williams and Robert Williams.
You got the starters, but you don't have a depth. And without a depth,
Derek White. That's their other.
Okay, Derek White.
White. Oh wow,
that's decent. So you have the starters, but you don't have the depth. So I can't pick you. If you were to face Milwaukee in the playoffs, I would pick Milwaukee. So
yeah, and I hate to say it, their bench doesn't have guys that are that put the wow factor. They got Luke Cornett, who is like a 7-footer. He's one of their centers, other than Porzingis and Horford. So Porzingis is their one center. Horford will be his backup at 37 years old. Yeah, 7 years old. Then they have a couple rookies that they drafted, and then they have Luke Cornett, O'Shea Brissett, Sam Hauser, Delano Banton. I mean, a lot of names that they're gonna have to rely heavy on their starting five.
Yeah, so let's get to the comments. Arku, Celtics title window will close soon. It already did. Super title. All right, Celtics interior got weak and their depth. Yep, I agree. Arku says Drew Holiday was not good in the playoffs. Portland won the trade. I do agree. Taj says Drew hasn't been good in the playoffs since 2018 in the Pelicans, where he and Rondo locked up Dame and CJ. Yep, pretty much. In Dallas, Kristaps Porzingis had injury concerns. Joe Mazzulla, I don't like him as a coach. And that's another thing. Joe Mazzulla showed some bad vibes as a coach last year. So that's just what I think. But overall, I do like what Milwaukee and Portland got in this trade. And I even like what we got. We got depth, and that was what we needed heading into the offseason. So we actually have a depth. We actually have good depth now. We have good starters now. I'd say our team is set heading into the season. There's a rumor, though, that we're not done making moves. We're trying to get TJ McConnell now from the Pacers.
Oh, so interesting.
If we can get him, I mean, that's a good six-man right there, and we do need a point guard too. So I'll take that if it happens. Watching my team made my head hurt. We'll see what your Mavericks do, I guess, and your Thunder. But now that we got basketball out of the way, time to the final part. So it feels like the season's gone by really fast, but the MLB playoffs are finally here. So we'll talk about the matchups that we'll be seeing in the wild card. And me and Randy's team are in it, so we're going to give our previews. So we'll start off with the teams besides us before we get to our teams. So cool. We'll start off with the AL, and I know our Kuza Rangers fan, he's in the chat. The Texas Rangers are taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. So who you guys got?
I got the Rays on this. I mean, they're one of the teams, the more experienced, and they have more, proven hitters, as a collective, and you're really good pitching, on lineup for me, in my opinion. I mean, the Rangers are a very young team, on the come up, but, they've been there and there, inconsistent and very, good for periods of time. But I got to go with the more experienced team. I'm going to go with the Rays.
All right, Randy?
Yeah, just actually having a fresh series against the Rays here to finish the season off. Their pitching and their bullpen is geared up for a nice long playoff run here. And what better to take on a Texas squad that's got some question marks when it comes to the starting pitching with Max Scherzer, dealing with his injuries, and then like Nathan Eovaldi just not having a great season all year. So they're gonna have to lean heavily on their offense. They're gonna have to hope to hit the other team out of the park. And the way Tampa and the Rays roll, man, they can throw tons of different angles and different arms at you at any given moment. So I have the Rays winning in all three.
Yeah, I got the Rays as well. Just the Rangers, it's really questionable as far as their pitching goes. Max Scherzer, I'm pretty sure he's coming back, but he struggled a lot in Texas so far. And Tampa Bay, man, if it wasn't for the Orioles, they'd have first seed right now.
Yep.
So if it wasn't for the Orioles' dominance, they would be the best team in the AL right now. So I'm going to say Tampa, and honestly, I'd say Tampa sweeps.
Oh, shoot. Okay, too.
So I just don't see how Texas can really get a game, but RQ says he's not saying anything, so there you go. Rangers fan. Taj says Rays.
He goes, Eovaldi struggled at points. I'm not going to say anything, but Eovaldi did struggle at points.
Eovaldi struggled at some points. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But I got Tampa Bay advancing, and if Tampa does win, or whoever wins, Rangers, Rays, they would take on the Orioles in the next round. So basically, either way, these teams will be eliminated soon. But anyway, in the NL, I feel like this is a really easy prediction, but you got the Marlins taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. So, who you guys got for that?
YTC.
Give me the Phillies on this one. Yeah, I'll take the Phillies. The Marlins have been struggling in and out. They're very inconsistent once again. I gotta go with I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. They've been riding hot as of late. I'll go with them.
All right, Randy.
Yeah, like YTC finished off there with you got the Phils running like hot engine oil right now, man. They can't seem to stop hitting balls out of the park. Schwarber's having himself a home run hitting season. I just don't know why, but I like that young team over there in the Marlins. I'm getting like the old Marlins vibe when I was a kid with Dontrell Willis being in there, and I can't remember some of the other guys' names, but man, just vibing on that. But I feel like the Phils they're experienced. They've been there. They've done this last year. They went to the World Series, so they want to win it again. So they're gonna win this.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Phillies. I feel like the Marlins got kind of lucky getting into the postseason. I'm not taking anything away from them. I feel like they're a good team for the future, but as far as this goes, the inexperience compared to the Phillies, that's a factor in it. But we don't know what this Marlins team is really capable of. I'm pretty sure their pitching is kind of banged up. So that's something that you don't want when you're playing Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, Trea Turner. I could go on and on. So that's something that you don't want playing against this team. So I'm going to say the Phillies. I could see it going to 3 games. I could see Miami having that one, win out of luck and then losing the series, though. But I'll say Phillies in 3, and whoever wins this series is playing the Atlanta Braves in the next round. So there you go. But let's get to the comments. RQ says Jordan Montgomery's been solid in the last few starts. Yep, for the Rangers. So that's pretty good. Crazy has Tampa Bay, and then he has the Phillies. All right, so next series. Randy, your Toronto Blue Jays are taking on the Minnesota Twins. So what's your preview on that?
Yes. So I'm looking at my folder right now because I wanted to make sure if it was happening or not, but they just said that Kevin Gausman is going to be the starter for game 1 versus the Twins, which is a solid because he's been basically our ace this year with Chris Bassett being our solid number 2. So we'll have Gausman 1, Bassett 2, and we'll probably finish it out with like Jose Barrios, which is obviously ironic because that's the team that we traded away for. So he'll have like a bit of a homecoming in if we go 3, which I do feel like we are going to go 3 because it is against them and we're in their home, in their barn. But I feel like our bats have come alive here at the end of the season. We have more power than they do right now. Carlos Correa, he's been dealing with plantar fasciitis all year, so he hasn't been really hitting his normal numbers. They do got one of the best closers, Johan Duran, in the business. So for my Blue Jays to be smart, we need to get on the board and get on the board early, so we don't have to worry about seeing him, and just hold the lead. But I got us winning in 3.
Okay. YTC, who you got?
Well, what game between who?
Blue Jays and Twins.
Well, you know me, my bias self would take the Twins, but now the Blue Jays should get out this round, only because they have more consistent lineup. But yeah, I expect the Blue Jays to get out this round, in my opinion. Twins are inconsistent.
And Get On Kid is a Twins fan, by the way. Twins can't bat to save their lives.
Yeah.
And what's up, Mitch? Yeah, we're just talking about the MLB playoffs right now. We actually just predicted.
Mitch?
So far, Mitch, I don't know how long you've been here, but we said that the Rays would beat the Rangers. We all agreed. We said the Phillies would beat the Marlins. We all agreed on that. And we all agreed that Toronto was going to, even though they're a 6th seed, they're going to beat Minnesota. I got Toronto winning in 3 games as well. I just feel like they finished out the season much stronger. They were able to sneak in the playoffs in a tough AL conference. So, and just if they're able to outplay the Twins pitchers and Pablo Lopez and who was that other guy? Forgot what his name was. But if Toronto's hitting can come alive in this series, I got Toronto winning this series in 3 games. And whoever wins this series would take on the assholes in the next round, Astros.
You're talking about Sonny Gray or Joe Ryan?
Joe Ryan. Yeah, Joe Ryan, yeah. So, I'm going to pick the Blue Jays for that. Sonny Gray's good too, I guess, but,
Yeah, he's been okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. So, I'm going to pick the Blue Jays. All right. For the first time since 2017, my Diamondbacks are in the playoffs. It feels really good. It feels really good. We're taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. So, I know Randy gave his preview first, but I'll let you two go first. Give your prediction on who's going to win this series.
I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks on this one. They're the more, I feel like they're the more hot team compared to Milwaukee. I think they're a more hungrier team because you said it yourself. It's the first time they've been back in the playoffs in years. So I think they're going to come in more fired up. And this was probably one of the upsets I could see happening, in this MLS series. Yeah, not MLS, MLB series in the playoffs.
Okay. How many games?
How many games? I'll say, how many games are there?
Best out of 3.
3.
Best out of 3. I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks. And best out of 3. I'm gonna go with Diamondbacks in 2.
Sweet. Okay. Sweet. All right, Randy.
Just quick little New York Yankees news here. Apparently, the Yankees are expected to keep Boone and re-sign him for keep.
No.
Just wanted to drop that little nugget before I go with my little predicky here. But yeah, I got the. This is actually gonna be a good series, because they got good pitching over there in Milwaukee. So names when it comes to the bats. But you guys got the ace in the hat, and that's Corbin Carroll. I think he's gonna have himself a series. I think he puts his name on the map, even though it doesn't need to be there already, because he's probably the rookie of the year, in my opinion, as well. And then Zach Gallen, you got to lean on Zach Gallen and hope he just goes in there lights out. So it's going to be good, though. But I got you guys in 3.
In 3? Okay. So Craig has the Blue Jays as well, and he's got the Diamondbacks. So my turn. And I guess after this, we could talk about, since YTC – unfortunately, your team's not in the playoffs. I guess since that Yankees news just came out, we could talk about it after this. But anyway. All right. Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. First off, I'm going to start off by saying you guys have no idea how much I want to beat this team. And if you didn't see my video, in case you don't know why, Milwaukee got us in basketball. I want to get these fuckers in baseball. All right. So I'll start off by saying that. What I will say is that it's on the road in Milwaukee. We are pretty good on the road for the most part. obviously, Zach Gallen, he has had his issues on the road this season, so that's a little bit of something to look at. He has like an ERA of almost like below 2 at home, but on the road it's a little bit over 3. So he is a little bit slower on the road as far as his pitching goes, giving up runs. But for game one, we have Brandon Pfaadt pitching. So that game, so game one tomorrow is going to go either one of two ways. Either he's going to give you 6 scoreless innings, or he's going to give you 5 home runs, because that's the way it's been for Brandon Pfaadt. He either has a really good productive game, or he has like one of the worst games you could ever see out of an MLB pitcher. That's just how it's been for him. So another rookie, by the way, another young pitcher. Or wait, I don't think he's a rookie, but he's a really young pitcher. So yes, he'll be good for the future. But as far as Zach Gallen goes, I'm assuming he'll be pitching in game 2 because Merrill Kelly pitched on it wasn't our last game, but it was before we clinched the playoff spot the game before that. So I'm assuming Gallen's going to be pitching in game 2. And if there is a game 3, I'm assuming Merrill Kelly's going to be pitching in that game. So I could see us losing game 1 because I don't know how Brandon Pfaadt's going to be, but I'm going to be picking the Diamondbacks in 3. And reason I say that is because while, yes, our team is inexperienced, we do have the element of surprise. We don't know what this team is capable of. So a very, very young team, a bunch of guys that are looking forward to this moment on our team, a bunch of that are not in the playoffs that are about to experience it. So I'm going to say Diamondbacks in 3, but the one thing that I will say is the Brewers statistically have really good pitching. Statistically this season, they've got really good pitching. And statistically, the Diamondbacks have really good hitting. So when it comes down to this series, we got to outplay their pitchers. And I wouldn't say our pitchers have to be the best. I want our pitchers to be good. But based off of Milwaukee's stats as far as hitting go, I'm not really worried about our pitchers being that bad. But as far as our hitters go and the way we closed out the regular season as far as hitting goes, that's not the kind of momentum that you want heading into the postseason. So hopefully it was just, us getting ready for the playoffs and, we're here. Our bats are starting to wake up a lot more. But I'm going to pick the Diamondbacks in 3. And I hope that does happen because I really want to face the Dodgers in the next round. I really want to face them. So,
yes. You already know why.
And yes.
Certain individual.
And if we win this series, that's who we win. Yeah, there you go. Kawhi Leonard laughed just like Ed is at his finest. But that is who we would play in the next round. We would play the Dodgers, and I really want to play them so bad. So, with the wild card predictions now over, who do you guys have winning the World Series?
World Series? You know what? I mean, World Series, I go with the Atlanta Braves. They're just stacked overall, in my opinion. They got the MVP. They got a bunch of experienced guys over in that team. Give me the Atlanta Braves.
All right, Randy.
I say it's going to be Atlanta versus Toronto in the World Series, and Toronto loses, but Atlanta wins in 7.
You got Toronto World Series, okay.
Why not?
I have being a surprise, even though the Orioles are inexperienced. I'm going to have the Braves and Orioles in the World Series, and give me the Braves in 7. So we all got the Braves winning the World Series. People in the chat, you guys can feel free to comment.
Let us know who you pick, boys.
I want to play the Braves in the NLCS, though. And in order to do that, I know we got to get through the Brewers, and then we got to get through the freaking Dodgers, which I feel like we can do because the Dodgers playoff history in the playoffs, Dave Roberts has no idea what the hell he's doing. So I feel like we could beat the Dodgers. But in order to do that, we got to get past Milwaukee first. So that's my focus. I also will be streaming that game as well. So in game 1.
I'll be streaming game 1 of the Blue Jays versus the Twins as well. So,
yep. Okay. All right. So we haven't really talked about YTC's team a lot, but according to Randy, Aaron Boone is coming back as the manager. So
for 2024, per Bleacher Report.
Yeah. Okay. So YTC, Brandon, go right ahead.
This is why the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore. This is why we didn't make the playoffs. We can't, we basically rely on too much analytics. We don't rely on fundamental baseball. We're very inconsistent when it comes to hitting. You saw that one drought in the entire month throughout the whole baseball season. We couldn't hit a damn thing. We couldn't even hit a damn still bird if we wanted to. That's how bad it was. Completely. And also because, we don't have no accountability and no pride because they're all just there for their money. We had a lot of guys just there for money, get their paycheck and leave, regardless of how crap they've done. We don't have guys that play with heart anymore, and that's just, sad to hear from a, team I grew up watching, unfortunately.
All right, Randy, I know your team's in their division, so you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I just posted it.
Yankees depend on Judge. If he's not going, the team isn't going.
Yeah, exactly. We're too one-sided. We don't have other guys that can contribute. Rizzo's inconsistent. Donaldson's trash. We got rid of him. Bader's been inconsistent. A lot of guys we have, there are a bunch of old farts that are inconsistent. And Carlos Stanton's overrated.
Yes, Carlos Stanton.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, my manager made the playoffs, but before that, I was saying fire the damn guy because I thought he was bad. But our front office was actually loyal, and they trusted our farm system first. And our manager's been doing better now that we actually have our young guys producing. So,
but I will say for the Yankees, at least we have a good farm system with those guys that came out that we got out at the end of the month. They've been playing really good so far. It looks like we have a bunch of promising guys coming up soon. Hopefully, we get them, more full time next season.
And you know what? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Oh, before we end the episode, I kind of want to have a little bit of fun right here. Now, you guys probably didn't see my live stream earlier, but let's hold on. I'm trying to load something real quick. So, while we're waiting, if I had to pick a winner for the World Series, though, I'm going to say it again. The Braves are just so good. Like that's what I'd pick. But
too many hitters.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna. If he's not the MVP, who is? That's what I want to know. But let's see. So I couldn't drop a video because I didn't really have time to do it. But I'm going to play a video, and then I'm going to shit on a team real quick. So let me play the video real quick.
It's going to be fun, and we're going to be dangerous. Are you seeing this right now? Imagine when we had the World Series parade this year. Going through the city. How crazy is that going to be?
Who do you think you'll face? We're already to the World Series. But who do you think you'll face in the World Series from the American League?
Who you guys want us to face?
Yankees?
It doesn't matter because we're still going to win it all.
Wow.
Hey, did I just hear that? Did Tatis say that the Padres were going to win it all?
Yeah.
Win it all.
Hey, where are you at right now? Where you at right now, you bums? You missed the playoffs. Where you at? Hold on, let me pull up this overlay. Manny Machado, don't jump on the bandwagon later on when we start fucking ranking. Well, when did the ranking start, Machado?
Huh?
I bet Manny Machado is not going to say it on in the conference, but I bet you he misses being a Dodger right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Manny Machado.
San Diego, all these San Diego fans that troll me saying y'all were going to win the World Series, you guys are just a disgrace, and the only thing you'll ever be known for is getting swept by Derek Jeter in the World Series. That's the only thing you'll ever be known for. But I know Crazy Juice is laughing. Yeah, that's funny. You have all this payroll. You gave Xander Bogaerts all this money just for him to have 19 home runs. But
damn.
Wow.
Also, Christian Walker had a better season than Juan Soto this season. Let's not forget that. But
wow.
You heard.
Yeah. So that's the end of episode 7. Unless you guys want to add on to that Padres, drama. But
oh no, I got nothing else.
I don't know that person. I don't know him personally like you. So no, that's for you.
Yeah, I don't have a personal history like that, like you do.
I just can't. I can't stand the Padres. I just can't.
That's fair.
After all the shit they were talking. But anyway, guys, if y'all have anything else to say, that's a wrap. This was actually a pretty good episode. We got through everything on every sport. Episode 8, back with the Week 5 games. I will not be able to stream the Cardinals game this week, and I won't watch it. So I'm gonna have to watch the highlight. But we'll be going through the Week 5 matchups. I know NBA is right around the corner. Maybe we could throw something in there. And by next Monday, we should have the wild card wrapped up. We could talk about how our teams did. But with that being said, guys, that's a wrap on episode 7.
Yeah.
So,
all right. See you guys soon.
deal.
Once you see how.